Hey guys, welcome to the Horizn Podcast episode
Three. Hey,
Is it two? Is it three?
Technically
three. Yeah.
It's three.
Yeah.
Wow, numbers, eh? So yeah, welcome guys. First of all, thank you for tuning in. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or you are listening on this podcast, I mean through Spotify. So yeah, thank you guys. The first episode is
Trash.
It's about me. We're talking about the music video.
music video, yeah.
Yeah.
And the second episode we did, we have our bosses, Jerome, Owen, and Vicky, talk about
New Year resolutions.
Yes, New Year's resolution. And safe to say they were really interesting episodes. So I hope this episode will be even more interesting because we always want to push ourselves further with content. And yeah, as you can see or not, it depends on where you're watching or consuming this. We have 3 different mics this time. It's going to be very interesting. We hope it works. If it doesn't, then that's going to be really sad. But yeah, so I guess our topic for this podcast will be about filmmaking or video in general, because we're part of the video team of Horizn. We make videos, we edit them, we shoot them, and that's what the public typically knows. But there's a lot of process going into like video making, right? So what I really want to start with is like, I guess where does this interest come from all of us? So I guess we can start with
Me first.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
Introduce yourself first.
Yeah. So, hey guys. So, my name is Jerry Fu. So, I'm 24 this year. I started getting interested in filmmaking when I was back in high school. Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago. Yeah. So I've always been interested in like films and like videos, like anything to do with like moving pictures actually. Like I started watching movies and then YouTube videos, and I got so fascinated by the idea of like a story being told through moving pictures, through films. Yeah. But then I didn't actually see it as a career at first. It's more like a hobby, something that I would love to watch. I actually wanted to be an actor like at first. Yeah, and I never thought that I would like filmmaking can one day be like my career, you know. Yeah, and something that I'm super passionate in. Yeah. So I guess it's more like when the question is like where do I start, right? Like how do I get interested in this? Yeah. It's the brief of it, the gist of it is just I would say it's probably just I love to listen to stories and to watch like stories unfold in front of me, like to follow a character's arc, you know. Yeah, so that's why I always love to listen to people's stories. Yeah, besides like watching films. Yeah, anything to do with stories in general, like any form of art I'm very excited to like consume or to see these kind of arts like being unfolded in front of me. Yeah, so that's for me.
Right. What about Dazzie?
Well, I mean, I think we like had this talk like during my first day here in Horizn. We talked about like how we actually like started being in video, and then I think I actually fell into like this job because before I went into uni, I actually wanted to study things like design, graphic design. I even considered animation. Video wasn't part of what I ever wanted to really like study. But I was kind of into photography. I mean, I wasn't doing it professionally, but I just enjoyed taking photos. I enjoyed using my sister's DSLR and just like grabbing random things. So, and my parents basically didn't really supported me like going elsewhere to study. So in Miri there's Curtin. So there's like mass communications there. And then my sister recommended the course to me because she said, oh, you like taking photos, it's like media stuff. And it's like, oh, seems interesting. It's like better than going to Curtin for business or engineering, because that's not really part of my interest. So I gave it a shot. Like, even when I was in uni, I still didn't like thought of film and television as my thing. It still didn't really spark me in like that's my passion. Like, even after I graduated, I still wanted to look for a job in graphic design. And so while I was like looking around here in Miri, because there's not a lot of job opportunities here in Miri, and I fell upon one that my lecturer recommended me. I applied as a graphic designer, but coincidentally they were looking for a videographer. It was like a new thing that they were experimenting in. They like wanted to offer video services. So when I went in, they saw like previous work I did with videography. I like captured like live events back in uni, and they were like, oh, you can work a camera, and like you it's like good enough lah. So I went in as a videographer, and I took stuff for like short advertisements lah. So at that point, I still wouldn't say I had a huge interest in filmmaking, but I mean, like, capturing videos became kind of like a talent of mine, I guess. Like, so I kind of just fell into it. Like, even after my first job, I applied another job as a graphic designer, but I still had to do video again. So I kept falling back into videography. But then lately, as I keep consuming like stuff on YouTube or like shows, the recent trends, there's like dramas, movies. I wouldn't say I'm like a film junkie or anything, but I've taken a lot of interest in like reality show formats, where it's also almost like a mix of documentaries, where you like reality shows where you see celebrities. Maybe they'll be overseas running a restaurant, and they'll be just serving to people that do not recognize them as celebrities. So seeing that recently has brought me a lot of like, it has comforted me in a way, because I think it's more of like a people watching. You just watch people be people without all the extravagant stuff. So that thing I think those type of formats lately has inspired me a lot to delve into that side of filmmaking. Like, after all these years of like, I still don't really know what I want to do with filmmaking, because I think I'm still continuously exploring. So yeah, I keep falling back into this video industry for some reason, but that's the thing for me.
I see.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to introduce ourselves in the intro, but hey, I'm Herbert. And my story is I guess it's a little bit similar to Jerry in some ways. Like, I never thought that I wanted to be part of this world of films or video making. I actually wanted to be a pharmacist in the beginning, like way back a few years ago.
Dang.
And I failed my chemistry, and I was not doing great in science subjects, let's just say. So that kind of led to me exploring my options in what I want to do. But at the time, films aren't really my, like, not necessarily my passion. I just watch it just because, And then when I came to uni, it kind of opened my mind a little bit about films. That really helped me explore this passion of mine. And then, yeah, safe to say, uni opened up the passion for me, and like, it helped me to explore myself in some ways also. And since then, made a few videos for myself, and then afterwards made some videos for Horizn as well, which is a really crazy journey, because when I enter here, I already had the passion to with filmmaking, but I just never had the platform or connections with anyone really. So honestly, it felt really lonely at the time. Like, I don't know what to do. So I just made my own YouTube videos to what's the word? Fill up my free time, I guess. And then after that, got the call from Horizn saying that, do you want to join us or something like that? I don't remember, but I got a text and then I was like, I have no expectations because I have no idea what the company does necessarily. I mean, it has a digital in the name, so I suppose they do something relating to that. But I never knew that they actually do videos as well. And so I said, screw it. I'll just do it anyway because like I have nothing better to do at the time. So yeah, here I am now. It's wonderful actually. Like that one decision that I made like 4 months ago brought me here. You know, I know a lot of people now. I know the bits of the industry as well, you know. And yeah, 2022. It's really feels like it's gonna be a crazy year for us as well.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that question is out of the way. I guess we can go to like what is that thing that like keeps you motivated to do what you're doing right now? But it can be a person, it can be a film, it can be anything really. And how does that person or thing pushes you to keep going, yeah, conquer your fears and all that. Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll start. So I remember this quote from someone. I don't know who it is actually. It's something to it goes something like this. It's like it's something like, this is the only thing that I know how to do. This is the only thing that I know that I'm good at.
Right.
So that's why I'm here. In a way, it's something like that, you know, because like I sometimes think to myself like, if I were to stop doing what I'm doing right now, what else can I do? I can do like McDonald's and like all those I don't know. I don't want to say like easy jobs lah, but it's more like some things that you can learn to do like over time or in a short period of time. Yeah. But yeah. But other than that, for me I feel like this is where I belong, you know? Like I kind of like, it's that feeling where you feel like this is where you should be, and then this is where you should grow. Yeah. And it's very clear for me in a way. Yeah. Like sometimes it's very hard for me to kind of tell it to others like how it feels to keep going in this industry. Like why am I still in this industry? You know? Yeah. But I think the shortest answer is how to say, is that I'm very comfortable in this industry. Yeah. And then I would love I feel like home lah. I feel like home in this industry. So that's why I'm still that's what kind of keeps me going. And it's like I have nowhere else to go lah, other than up lah. Yeah. And then to kind of explore what else can I do while I'm here at this industry lah. Yeah, because it kind of like, it kind of gives you a lot of focus into this industry instead of like shifting your focus to something else instead. Yeah, because you already established kind of like your foundation, your ground here. Yeah, so I think that's really good for me lah. Yeah.
I mean, for me, right? Like even coming over to Horizn, I think it was a bit of a kind of a challenge for myself also, because before this I had 2 jobs before this, and in both of those 2 jobs I did both graphic design and videography, and it was always just me in the team, so I never really had a lot of experiences working with people, and like working in like a 9 to 5 job, sometimes I felt really stuck also lah. Like I felt like I wasn't doing anything that doing anything interesting, I guess. I just felt very stuck. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And it was like getting really tiring in my previous company because it just felt very repetitive. So like when I saw an opening here, because I like heard from others and I kind of know like a lot of younger people work here, so I thought maybe it would be a good refresher for me. Like I can start working in a team with people that are also like experienced or like they have the same interest and passion, because before it was always just me in the team and I didn't know who to look to when I had like problems. So I mean, so what keeps me like wanting to challenge myself is also I feel like I'm still exploring, or I'm still very much exploring, because I have a lot of things I want to do. Sometimes I like design, but sometimes I see a lot of talented people over the world. So some people are really good at painting, some people are really good at like making things, and I even to this day I still feel like I haven't found mine, because I do this and that, but I haven't mastered any of them in a way. So when I saw like an opportunity here, I just like wanted to challenge myself and see if I can like learn more. So I mean, yeah, that's kind of what pushes me more.
I see. Very interesting stories. For me, it's honestly, I feel like I sound like a broken record every time I say this, but the one thing that pushes me a lot is storytelling. Like, I never really understood how important it is to listen to people's stories until like what, a few years ago, while I was still in uni. Like, I learned all about like how important it is to understand, have empathy towards people, regardless of where they're from and all that. And it honestly like hit me really hard when a story from, let's say, a grandfather who's like 90 years old, he never wrote it down, so he only passed it down to his grandchildren, let's say, and he just died, and even if the grandchildren know the story, it can be distorted because it's purely memory, right? So in that sense, I feel like there's a lot of stories that was never told to the public, and I feel like every of those stories can be really meaningful and beneficial to the society in a lot of ways. So that really motivated me to like actually initially to do documentaries before films. Actually, like I really like documentaries in general and exploring that genre of like filmmaking, I guess. And yeah, I don't really have a long answer for that, because it is that simple. Like, I just really like storytelling, and I believe it will benefit everyone just from listening. So yeah.
You actually, like, from what you said just now, I actually have it actually reminds me of something that one more thing I would like to add on for me.
Yeah.
Like why am I still in this industry is also like it also has to do with like it kind of changes my lifestyle in a way. I don't know how do I put it. Yeah, like sometimes I talk when I was talking to my friends some days, like back then, like right. I actually then I realized like a lot of things that we are doing in filmmaking can apply in your life actually. Yeah, like you can I don't know whether if it sounds cheesy or not now, but then it's like but then if you like it or not, is like that lah. Yeah. So like for example, like if you wanna get a good story, or if you like to learn more about other people's story, you need to have like empathy. Yeah. So that kind of trains you, or in another sense, it's like forces you to become more empathetic. Yeah. And it's like it's very hard for you to force lah. So in a way, it kind of makes you want to be a bit more empathetic and be more humble when it comes to like getting your stories towards people. Yeah, that's what I realized for me. Because I realized that back then I can be those people that doesn't give a dang. Like when it comes to people or anything, I am just in my own world. But then at one point I feel like it doesn't really work for my career to say
Right.
Because my career I have to go and reach out to people. I have to go and talk to people. I cannot be this person that lives in my world. Yeah. Because in my world, I have my own story to tell. But then if I cannot connect with people out there, how am I going to share my story to others?
Yeah.
So it's like, it kind of makes me want to be a better person. Like when it comes to being in the filmmaking industry. Yeah. So I guess that's why that's like one of the biggest reasons that I'm still in this industry, because it kind of like it shows me a different way to live Yeah, it taught me to be more humble, and then more empathetic, and then it kind of pushes me to connect with people yeah, and like especially to other creators as well, and to have not really don't really judge what they do, but instead just embracing our art together like sharing our crafts together, sharing our passion together. Yeah, instead of like me fighting against you, why don't we join forces like that? Yeah.
Like something that you said really like got to me like just now, like connecting with people is really important. Like it doesn't matter how, connecting is just one of those things that is part of our human nature and then not to sound cheesy when I say this, but because of the internet and the phone and all that, like we tend to get really distracted, and especially after COVID, where we don't really get to talk much in person.
Yeah.
So during COVID, like during MCO and all that, like I really noticed that I really need to connect with people offline, because it's like it's where you honestly, it just feels better I think. I don't know what you guys think, but it feels a lot better to talk to someone in person rather than through a tablet or a phone screen. And applying that to filmmaking, it's like you really have to understand someone. If you want to write a story about someone or something, you really have to be empathetic. It's a hard word, but yeah, like understanding someone or something is just really important. And like it's something that, you know, is the reason why why filmmaking exists, really, like because you want to show someone something, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't go missing in the future, because like that's what I believe to be like the essence of filmmaking. If that's gone, then I don't know what that is anymore. So yeah, really interesting.
Come to think of it, like actually filmmaking it has a lot to do with empathy. Like it doesn't mean how to say, for the creator and for the consumer as well. Like just thinking about it Yeah, because like why do I say that is because like for example, if you're one of the audience, right, you need to be
immersed.
You need to immerse yourself into the film. So you need to have empathy towards the character, the main character that's going through some hardships. That's how you kind of like feel what they feel. So that's why some people, when they're watching a film, they cry with the main actors. Yeah.
I mean, even at the actors, they have to emphasize with the script, with the story.
Yeah.
It's like there are a lot of mediums of like how you convey the story and the message. So through a single film, there's actually a lot of layers of like conveying like the mood, the tone, the message.
Yeah. So it's not just like it's not like a one-way thing. It's more like a full circle. Like everyone has a role to play, from the creators to the creation to the audience to the consumers, and like it goes one full circle. So I think that's a very beautiful thing, to be honest. Yeah. It's like it started off as an idea, and then it kind of translates into like an art, and then like it inspires people, you know. Yeah. Like I have this feeling that I wanted to share, this story that I want to tell, that in hopes that I have hope that it's going to help people, someone out there, and in the end it kind of helps someone. That's like yeah. I think that's the goal for every artist out there.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, right? You don't just want to inspire people, but in a way, art that we do is also like to feed our like inner soul.
Yeah,
you know, like to just to make ourselves feel better that we did something that touched someone's heart.
True.
Like that's what impressed me about like films by like the few famous directors like Christopher Nolan, Wes Anderson, who else? Some other directors, let's just say. Like people love their films because they felt it, right? They put a lot of effort in the cinematography, the plot. Everything was done with care and like effort. It's not just like one of those films that people just watch and forget, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why like Interstellar was one of the best films that a lot of people say they've watched. There's a lot of reason why like Marvel films also actually like people really like them, because even though it can be like a little cheesy because it's a superhero film or whatever, but like honestly it's just like really fun to watch, you know.
Yeah,
you don't necessarily need to watch something and then analyze everything plot by plot, blah blah blah. You just hit there to watch a film that makes you feel good. So that's what like Marvel films are to me. And then there's also a time to watch like Christopher Nolan's films, let's say, you know, where you want to feel like whoa, like it touched you, it blows your mind, something like that. So I hope that whoever's listening to this, like if you have a film that you really like, don't be afraid to, I guess, express that, because you know people will say everything anyway. Like people will judge you no matter what you like or what you prefer to watch. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, films are meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah,
it's meant to fill up your soul. It's meant to, you know, make yourself feel better, to spend some time and watch something that you really like. So yeah, watch anything.
And also actually films, right, some people might not see it, but I from the way I see it, films can actually change a person's life if you think about it. Yeah, because films, they deliver a feeling, they deliver a story, and like an impactful one. Yeah, like at least it changes my life. Yeah, like it, like the way the character, the way he acts, the story, that how he kind of get through his life, you know, like from being naive to someone who is mature. I don't know. Yeah, like a lot of films that I watch are like that. Like at first they're very down, and then how they came out from there. Yeah, it kind of shows you, like, because I think for some people they how to say, for some people they might experience the same thing, but then they don't know how to come out of it. But the film kind of shows you a way to come out of it. Yeah, and then you try to learn from that movie, like, and then apply how they spoke throughout their situation into your situation. Yeah, so I think that really, that's why I really love movies. Like it shows you a different way of like living life, and then try to think like how do you apply it to yours.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like almost the same as that.
Yeah.
That's why I became more intrigued with like the reality show / documentary format. Because sometimes I'm not that into films, because sometimes it might get like over dramatized. So that's why I don't watch that much films. That's why I like swayed more to like reality shows, because it's a lot more lighthearted. And I think I get almost the same value as you. Like it doesn't necessarily have to have them like solve really hard problems that they face, but seeing them like how maybe let's say this day they woke up and then it starts raining and they were supposed to go out, but they find another way to spend their day. Seeing that kind of just
inspires you, or like
not inspires me, but I guess in a way it reminds me that people are just people. It's actually really nice to just see us being ordinary people sometimes. That's why sometimes it grounds me in a sense when I feel like really stressed, or I'm like, that's why I don't like going to like let's say really intense movies, because maybe that'll stress me out more, because it like throws me into another like another problem that I have to like think about. Oh shit, like what's gonna happen to him? I like something that's more expected in a way, in a good way.
I see.
That's why I started really liking that kind of format.
I guess the next question is relevant to what we said. Like, what's that one like that one film that you watch and then it kind of like make you say, whoa, what just happened?
Okay.
I'll start first. So it's actually a really funny story. My brother invited me to watch Dunkirk in the cinema. And I was like, Dunkirk? Well, what kind of film is that? Like, I didn't know Christopher Nolan directed that film at the time. So I'm like, I looked through it. I'm like, Nolan, okay, but it's about World War II. Not really my interest, but sure, why not? It's free. My brother pays for it. Fine. And then after, like, while I was in the cinema watching that, I'm like, oh, the sound design, the guns, the planes, they make you feel anxious, which is a good thing for me, because it's like, it makes me feel immersed in the film. Dazzie may not like that, because it genuinely makes me feel anxious, and the way they put everything into that film is just like, whew, like, I've never been blown away by a film in so long. And I think that's one of the thing that pushes me to pursue films, because like, if it doesn't blow my mind, I don't think I'll be as interested. But I'm just so curious as to how Nolan does everything in this film. That just clicks in my head. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna learn everything from this film. It's just crazy. Like, I never thought I'll like Dunkirk, honestly. But it's just like, that's what films is for. Like I said, like it really needs to touch you, and then you like find a passion in it, and perhaps one day you'll be that filmmaker too, you know. So yeah, that's the film that like really wowed me. I'm actually curious to know what you guys are actually. Yeah. So
because
I
think for me, I love to watch, like, there's a lot of films that I love. But then I think one film that really stood out is again from Christopher Nolan.
Okay,
it's
let's
called
go.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just finished watching it yesterday. Yeah, I don't know why I always go back to that movie, but it's just, I feel like there's just something that I can uncover, I discover, like, each time I watch the movie. That's what I love about like Christopher Nolan's movie. Yeah, it's like you can watch it a few times, and each time you watch it, it's always a different experience.
Right.
You caught on something, like the sound design, or like the cuts and like the angles of whatever it can be, or maybe the meaning behind the movie. Yeah, you might get it on the third time, but not on the first time. Yeah. So that movie really hits me hard. I think it's because like they're playing with a lot of different concepts. Like at first, like I actually saw the movie poster before, like when it's out in cinemas. But then in my head I was like thinking, oh, it's just going to be another like space movie. It's not gonna be anything that's mind blowing. But I kind of regret not going to the cinema to watch this movie. Yeah. But then I the first time I watched this movie, it was at a friend's house. Yeah. And then like that was like a very mind blowing experience for me. Yeah. And then watching it again yesterday, it was like I think why this movie kind of stood out is because it's even though it's a kind of like a space movie that is talking about like the movie is about like going to space and like for spoilers if you guys haven't watched Interstellar, but it's like going out to space to kind of save like what do you call that, like humans, right? Yeah, the human the species yeah, what's the word for that? Yeah, to save humans basically like, from extinction. Yeah, okay. And then they did touch on a lot of different things like when it comes to that, like they did touch on like love, and then like how powerful love is, like it travels through space and time, you know. And then it's like it's something that like you wouldn't expect that thing to the word love to pop up in a movie like that, you know. Like when it comes to like space and time and all of those things, you know. So it's very interesting to see how Christopher Nolan pulls that together, pulls that off yeah, like going out to space talking about some science stuff, and then boom, and then like implements some human touch in there, like talking about love and family and all of these things. Yeah, so it's interesting That's what I love about like this kind of films It has like those human touch that you can really relate Imagine if that film were to be just purely space, it's gonna be boring as heck, you know. Yeah, like okay, like the full thrusters, you know, like all those like the meteors, how are we gonna shoot down the meteors and stuff, where are we gonna travel around in space,
like the typical
those are the typical like space movies, I would say like spatial exploration and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, that's something that really kind of like blows my mind. Like it changes my perspective when it comes to like space movies Yeah, and then like I think movies in general, yeah, like there needs to be, for me, you need to have like a bit of human touch in all the movies so that you can kind of relate to the movie itself
yeah.
Oh man, I feel like an outsider here. I'm not a film junkie.
Nah, it's alright.
No, but I mean like, because as I said before, I'm not that into films. I guess maybe I'm just too soft-hearted. Sometimes I don't really like immersing myself too much. Sometimes I feel too much and I don't enjoy the full experience in that sense. So I'm more into like Ghibli films in a sense. So I don't really have a movie in my head that I can think of now that like wows me. But then my comfort films are always Ghibli films, like Spirited Away, Ponyo, because it's just really the Ghibli films are just very beautifully crafted, and like you said, sometimes people just watch to feel good, and I think that's the case for me. I watch things so I can feel good. And like Ghibli films, even though they have like a lot of layers, a lot of meanings, but when you watch it, you don't really like, it's not that obvious. So sometimes you kind of, in a sense, when you watch a movie not knowing anything, when you go into with Ghibli films, it almost seems like really normal. Like you don't like know the true representations and like symbolisms behind it.
Right.
But yeah, I've always like really enjoyed the way how Ghibli films are crafted. Yeah, because I do find them very relatable too sometimes, even with like Ponyo. It's like it's actually like a really simple concept, because it's just like how like, I guess it's a spoiler-ish, but it's like about how the fish becomes human to like, so he can like be with the kid, with the boy. But those simple stuff touches me a lot lah. So yeah, I really like Ghibli films in general.
I mean, Ghibli films really blows my mind as well. Like when I first watched Spirited Away, it was like, well, I'm kind of skeptical at the time. Like, oh, it's just another animation.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? Like they really emphasize on fantasy, obviously, but they tell a really good story, and obviously, like you said, there's a lot of symbolism and whatnot, but to me that's just a bonus. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, it's fine. It's still a good film. And like I really admire Studio Ghibli's films for their ability to like tell a really, really good story and animate it really well. And it almost feels like they put a lot of effort. Like, surprise, they really put a lot of effort, and that's what you want in the things you watch, so that you don't feel like your time is wasted, right? And personally, I think that's what my ultimate goal is when it comes to my career. I don't want people to feel like they wasted time watching what I've created. Like, everything has to be really interesting, but not overwhelming at the same time. And that's actually a really hard thing to do, even until now. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but it's like, I always think that the struggle to catch people's attention, that's always something that I really never quite understood how to do. And hopefully I get to know how to do that, but at the moment it's like,
you have no idea.
It's kind of hard. Like, you never want to leave out any like specific like target audience for your stuff, let's say. So what do you guys think? Like,
I think for me, I kind of get what you mean. Like, when it comes to capturing like the attention of the audience, because I think for me personally, I think it's because we are not very sure how our target audience look like. Like, this is something that I was thinking about. Like, I actually thought about this like for like a couple of times. I never actually really dig deep into it. I think this time is a good time. It's like like, if you guys don't know, right now we're in Miri Sarawak, Malaysia, East Malaysia. So for our target audiences, like, sometimes because we're a social media company, digital marketing company, agency. So we've heard a lot about target audiences. Okay, so this ad that we're doing we're gonna target more on adults, or maybe young adults, or this kind of people. But it's very hard. I think it's very hard for us to kind of picture, like, okay, who exactly is this person that we're targeting? I think if we kind of nail down to, like, we are gonna target to, let's say, this
specific demographic.
This the demographic is one thing. Another one is, like, let's say, if I wanted to target Herbert, how am I gonna do that? How am I gonna get his attention? That would be it's actually quite much. It'd be much easier for us to design our film, right, to kind of do that, to kind of attract your attention, because we are very specific to you. And then if we can get your attention, then we can get your friends' attention. So I guess that's something that's kind of missing, I would say, in what we are doing. Because we are, I mean, it's not to say that what we're doing is not good. It's okay. I would say it's all right. But if, let's say, we want to do something a bit different, something that's more stand out, then this is something that we might have to look into.
True.
Even for this year, we also like talked about how we wanted to explore more on like creative projects, on passion projects, just so we can just try to explore on what we want to do as creatives as well, because we are still like we said, we are like a digital marketing agency, so we still have to work on stuff that pays bills, but at the same time we did also like talk about how we wanted to also put time aside so we can focus more on things that can creatively inspire us as well.
Right.
So
it's kind of a struggle for like us in this industry. It's like there's a lot of struggles already. Like, you constantly want the best equipment, you constantly want to like outdo yourselves, and like target audience is something like, I feel like it's a struggle endlessly. Like it's always a thing that you like. At least for me, I always think about, and yeah, it's kind of interesting to hear all your answers, because like I personally don't have any answers for that. So I guess we can move on to the next question.
I think one more thing I like to add for this is that
go ahead.
I think because it's very hard for us to kind of nail down to grab someone's attention, that specific someone, is because we are kind of serving different types of target audiences. We are like kind of diversifying our attention. Yeah. So basically right now we are attracting everyone's attention, but at the same time we're not attracting any attention. Yeah, this is what Owen has taught me. So shout out to Owen.
Shout out.
Man. Yeah. So I remember he told me this one thing that one time. It was way back. I'm not sure when is it. He told me something. I think it was on my podcast. But basically what he said is that if you try to if you get like a loudspeaker, what do you call that, or like a megaphone outside, and you just shout, no one's gonna listen to you. But if you shout to specific someone, if you want to attract that specific someone, then that someone will come to you because you're being specific. Yeah. But so the lesson is, if you try to attract everyone's attention, you ended up attracting no one's attention. If you're specifically trying to attract these types of person, then you will attract these types of person. Yeah. So,
I see.
So that's something that I think maybe we can look into. Yeah. Because like I think it's quite important for at least for us, like artists or like filmmakers, to kind of know who do we want to talk to, who do we want to communicate to. It's not just anyone who has like who's
we can catch the attention.
Yeah, it's like it's not anyone who can in other words like pay.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it could be someone who's like worth the time, worth for us to communicate, to grab their attention, and then to actually like do more creative things, do more greater things. Yeah.
That's a good answer actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, maybe just a final question. Like, if you're listening to this and if you're like one of those young ones that wants to look into filmmaking, I don't know how many of you out there. Probably not much, but hey, if you're listening, you're a real one. So, any advice to like those who really loves films and actually wants to, like, I guess pursue and be part of this industry?
Any advice? I'll start.
Yeah.
I think one advice is, to really, to really know yourself in a way. Yeah. Like, know what you want. If you feel like this is something that you really want to do, then just go for it. Yeah. Because like, if you are just, for me, I don't really believe in like half. I don't know. It's either like, it's either you go all the way or you just don't. Yeah. Like for me, going into filmmaking, like at first in my head, I always have this thought of just trying, but I don't try half. What do you call it? Like,
半桶水.
半桶水 in Chinese lah.
Yeah.
I don't try out like halfway through. I try all the way.
Yeah.
Anything that I can learn, I go and learn. Yeah. So, and then, because if you set your mind into doing this thing, like doors are going to open, and you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
You know, like people will start to reach out to you, and then you have to be prepared. But if you are what was the word? Like if you're doing this halfway, half-ass, yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the word.
I was thinking of it.
If you're doing this half-ass, then I would say it's very hard for you to receive, to accept what's going to come,
Mm.
you know, in the future. Yeah, because you don't want to do things half-ass. Anyways, because like if you do that, then I don't know, it might be a waste of time. Yeah, but other than all of these, if you feel this is something that you would like to try, just give it a try. There's not like now is the best time to start, I would say, for anyone.
Yeah.
Like everyone's phone, like right now, probably can shoot like 4K.
Yeah.
I mean, back in my days,
Back in our days.
back in my days, like I remember the highest quality is like just 720, or the best it was like 1080p. Yeah, and then like now it's like, think like even the budget phones can shoot in 4K. So yeah, just don't be afraid to go and shoot some stuff. If you want to vlog, just go and vlog. If you always wanted to try like something, just anything, just go there and shoot it. Go there and tell your story.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, for my case, like I've said before, I kept like falling back into this. So I think like, let's say if you really are interested in like this industry, it's always best to be more initiative. You have to look for ways to learn, surround yourself with people who share similar interests. That way you can grow, you can learn from each other. Build a good community around you, so you're able to grow creatively and learn a lot of things. Because but I don't see it as a failure if you're not doing well or anything, because like I said, I'm still exploring as well. I think because I also don't believe myself as much, so I mean, take it from me, just try to trust yourself more, so you can give yourself more opportunities in that sense. Yeah.
From me, I think I would say that the process will never be easy. Like, never expect there to be like, unless you got really lucky, obviously, but a lot of the times you might want to give up. You feel like you want to burn out because nothing comes out from your brain. Maybe one of your films don't turn out well, you know. The actors didn't do what they like, what you expect them to be doing or whatever. There's a lot of issues being a filmmaker that you constantly have to like have concern for. But I believe that it's part of the learning process. Like, there's always an up and down in life for everyone, and always remember to, like, once you're in the low point, you always go up. So that's what I always believe. That's like kind of my life mantra in a way. Like, once you reach a low point in life, you will always go up, and then you'll go down again, and then you go up. That's life. That it repeats itself, you know. And there's always a learning experience from every like point of life. And yeah, like, take everything as a lesson, you know. Let your ego down sometimes. Learn from the best as well if you have the opportunity to. Like, I'll be so happy if I get to talk to Christopher Nolan right now. You know, it'll be an honor, you know. And yeah, never take anything too lightly. And just believe in yourself. Like they said, believe in yourself. Always have faith in your talent and your art, because at the end of the day, it is your expression, and that's what matters.
All right.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this podcast. Thank you so much for watching, or if you're listening, thank you for listening. Be sure to check out our other previous podcasts on YouTube and also our Spotify. Don't forget to follow us on every social media that we are in. Feel free to just search Horizn Digital. It'll be out there, you know. And yeah, give a like, subscribe, click that bell.
And give us a rating.
Yes.
Do give us a rating on Spotify, because that really helps. And you know, if there's a way to leave a comment, you know, just suggest to us what ideas or what do you want us to talk about in the next few episodes.
Yep.
So this is it. I'm Herbert.
I'm Dazzie.
I'm Jerry.
And that's it. Bye.
Bye.